Hello, welcome to the Curious Expedition. So I think this is an early access game, but right at the moment, which is the 25th to the 27th of September, you can play this web version for free. Now it appears to be the full game, apart from the fact I don't think you can save at all. So I think it's basically a roguelike, so let's start a new game. So I've only played the tutorials. It seems a fun game. So, which explorer do we want? Marie Curie, Charles Darwin, Richard Francis Burton, Nikola Tesla. So they all have different stats. So let's have Marie Curie, a polymath, choose from 5 perks as opposed to 3. Welcome back to the Explorers Club, old friend. Have you heard that we are building a statue to honour the expeditions of our most famous member? Word is that you have a good chance of seeing your likeness on that statue. However, I am afraid to tell you that you are not the only candidate. You and your rivals have 6 expeditions to prove who is the most famous explorer within our guild. Or club, rather. Okay, so these are your rivals, obviously. So, on to the adventure. Ada Lovelace. It's a rather unusual choice, but anyway. So, we can only go, it seems, to this free destination here. That doesn't sound good. So, we can't go where they are. So, we're going to go to the Merciless Grasslands, a well-balanced region consisting mostly of wide grasslands. So, the aim of each expedition is to find the Golden Pyramid. The air was fresh and tasted of salt as I arrived at the docks. We had some more time before the ship would be ready, so I saw if there was anything I could do. Someone walked up to me and pleaded for my help. He needed to have a message delivered to the chief of a village located in the region we were headed to. Fine, we'll do that. I promised to deliver the letter and set sail. So maybe we should attempt to deliver the letter first. Conveniently, the man had pinpointed the location of the village on our map. So perhaps the perks are just random things you get, or perhaps when you level up, I don't really know. Right, let's continue. So here's the map. As you can see, it has basically line of sight. This will uncover when we get nearer to it. Up at the top here is our sanity. So when that gets to 0, you're basically dead. And each move you take, so to the village it takes 20. That's how much sanity you use. So some terrain, as you can see in the bottom right, there's a little thing which tells you about each of these hexagons, how much it's cost you to travel. So jungle's quite bad. I think you can get things like machetes to cut through. What have I got? Climbing gear. So you can use that for going through mountains and things, I think. First aid kit, quite handy. Torch. Rations. So rations, whiskey, etc. refill your sanity bar. And over here this compass points to the location of the Golden Pyramid, roughly. You can get things to make it more accurate. And this is, you're standing with the local tribes. So high good, low bad. So I'm not sure exactly what that means. I think that must be the amount of villages in our region. So let's head to the village and travel. So question mark is something to explore. Oh, there's 2 more in this region here we need to find. So that's 1 and there's another. So let's enter the village. We carefully approach an unknown native village. The natives seem to be a shamanistic group. One of the natives spoke fluent English and introduced himself as Vinu. He had travelled England before deciding to return to his ancestral home. While casually checking our crates, he asked us about our motives of visiting their home. Let's say recruit. I told Vanu that we required a local or two that could show us around. Let's deliver the letter. So we delivered a letter. He told us about the best sights to see in the region, including a holy shrine which he marked on our map. So they're still friendly. Let's try and recruit. We asked if someone was inclined to join our trek. No one wanted to. However, one of the Alder villagers offered us a healthy looking water buffalo. Okay. Hopefully he can carry things. Yeah. I don't know if it takes supplies or makes things worse. So these are the combat dice, but we'll see how that works later on. Well, hopefully we won't, but I'm sure we will. So we pack up and head out. Oh no, don't want to do that. We need to rest. Oh, silly me. Okay, let's head over here. Well, let's head here first. Then we'll go back to the village and rest a bit later on. We shouldn't really have gone there straight away, but never mind, because you lose one standing every time you visit, I think. So let's enter the stone circle. We came across a stone formation that was obviously man-made. There were inscriptions etched into each rock. Maybe they formed a kind of map. So, should we leave or look at the inscriptions? I think we'll look at the inscriptions. So we've unlocked Diamond Fortune. So we can reveal an area. So let's... There we go. $35. Let's go there. Then we'll head back to the village. Oops. And I think that means we've finished this region. So let's enter the hut. We entered a mysterious looking hut. The place smelled of old wet wood with all kinds of dried herbs and other peculiar things hanging from damp walls. A native shaman approached us with an absent stare as he chewed on some leaves. Let's trade. So let's barter with him. So horn flute. So we can use this as treasure. To increase our standing when we get home. Looks like all these... Oh, we've got a treasure map. Okay. So what else can we give him? Okay, that'll do. It took some effort, but after all we came to an agreement with the shaman. So let's leave. So this region is all explored. So we can't quite get to that village, which is annoying. So we're going to have to go back to this one. And have a rest. Oh, we could have used some rations. That was silly. Never mind. Let's enter the village. Oh. Oh dear, we can't rest more than once. Well, that's not good. Okay. We're going to have to... fail quite badly, I think. Let's head down here. Perhaps we'll get lucky. No. So we're basically dead, I think. So we can't get to there. Well, let's go there. Oh, did we lose? Let's see what happens. Oh dear. As we sat by the fire, Sister Gwyneth got up and stared into the distance. While loudly cursing our names, she ran into the darkness and never returned. So we can keep moving, but it's not going to do a lot. One of the darkest nights, I was so hungry that my whole body was trembling. I apologised to Missy Brents before I ended her misery. She tasted delicious and I gained enough strength to carry on for a few more days. Oh, there you go. Doesn't help very much though. Oh well, we'll have to give it a try. Let's examine the shrine. We stood before a temple comprised of huge stones. All manner of plant life grew towards the sun. Low-hanging vines partially concealed the entrance that led within. Somebody had drawn a circle of blood around the whole structure and planted spears into the ground, as a warning for anybody that dared to enter here. Before us lay some kind of ceremonial room. We quietly looked around the majestic hall. We found a stone altar that was covered in ancient writings. So let's investigate. So bad things can happen. When you loot these tombs. So that's... What a glorious day. We took what we came for. We grabbed the treasure and hurried outside as the whole area started to collapse behind us. We would have to run for our lives to avoid being devoured by the giant chasm that was beginning to form. So there you see what happens. So that's basically some kind of monster which you have to fight. I was becoming too weak to go on. I was so hungry that my whole body was trembling. Mr. Jackson looked at me while I gently stroked his head and got out my knife. He tasted delicious and I gained enough strength to carry on for a few more days. Oh dear, dear, dear. So we need to drop stuff, which isn't good. So okay. So this is how not to play the game. So we've uncovered that landmark. So there's an awful lot of jungle for a grasslands area. So you want to get away from him. I think we're about dead now. Milo laughed hysterically and cursed our efforts with his unnatural voice. Milo looked at me in a strange, almost understanding way. I am so glad he is with me now. Oh, okay. I thought I was going to eat him. Oh, come on. We've actually found it. The majestic golden pyramid rose above its environment. There was no one to join me in my victory, but I had been successful nonetheless. Enter the pyramid. After weeks of travelling, euphoria overcame me. I knew that my name would be forever remembered. So, finish expedition. So let's see our score. So that was not the most successful expedition, but we managed to get home. So we get to choose a perk. So anthropology. So we get more fame for things we find. Explosion expert. Geography gives additional information about your region. Eagle eye. Increase viewing distance. That seems a good one. Waterproof. Reduce movement costs in shallow rivers. Let's have Eagle eye. So we didn't do very well. So obviously we need funds, so let's sell. And that's all we've got. So there we are. Oh, you can save. Okay. So that's the Curious Expedition. I'll probably play another game or two. So it's well worth a try. I'm sure if you can't catch it this weekend, it'll probably be another free trial at some point. But if not, as you can see, it's 15% off on the Humble store at the moment. And it's definitely a good game if you like this sort of thing. So I'm going to have another couple of goes just to see how much I like it. But so far, definitely enjoying it. So, bye bye for now.